Andy Murray, who won his second Wimbledon title in 2016, has grappled with persistent hip pain ever since, which has resulted in surgeries that have forced the three-time Grand Slam champion into taking several breaks from the game. The 35-year-old shed light on how it felt to live with the pain amidst the surgeries and rehabs on the Emma Barnett Meets show. Revealing that he had filmed a documentary during the rehab period, Murray mentioned that he felt like he was in a pretty bad place when he watched it again. "I was in constant pain even when I went to walk the dogs, so I think, initially, it's difficult to deal with, but then over time the consistency of the pain and it just being every single day sort of wore me down," Andy Murray said. "I filmed a documentary during my rehab and the injuries and surgeries and stuff, and when I watched that back I kind of realized, which I didn't whilst I was going through it, like I was in a pretty bad place. So, I probably didn't deal with it particularly well, in the end, but it had been going on for a long time and it was stopping me from doing what I love as well," he added. "I dealt with discomfort in my hip for probably 6 or 7 years, Andy Murray, asserting that athletes do have a higher level of pain tolerance that comes with training and playing matches. The former world number one reflected on his hip discomfort that has persisted for many years. "Well, I think as athletes you're used to sort of always having a certain level of pain from the training and the matches that you do, and that's kind of normal. So, most athletes have a relatively high level of pain tolerance, but then with my hip, I dealt with discomfort in my hip for probably 6 or 7 years, Murray said. Murray first won Wimbledon in 2013 after missing the French Open earlier that year owing to a hip injury. The Briton, who became world number one in 2016, began struggling with injuries a year later and stated on the show that he couldn't extend his hip and was therefore not in a position to walk properly when the pain was at its worst. "It basically from one day to the next went from, I was ranked number one in the world at the time, to I literally can't walk properly anymore and I couldn't extend my hip," Murray said. The Glasgow-born player reached the finals of the Boss Open in Stuttgart earlier this month, where he lost to 2021 Wimbledon runner-up Matteo Berrettini.